All right, good.
So yeah, if you want to give your quick little synopsis.
All right, hi everybody. Welcome to Mobility Flow Live, our first YouTube edition. Hopefully everyone is being able to sign on okay. You can always talk to us after and we can give you guys a little bit of help going forward. So for today's class, we are going to do something a little bit different than what you've been kind of used to with me. This class is going to be a guided relaxation and restoration class. There's different ways of doing this class. There's different ways of teaching it. I have my methods that I've found with experience do work for a lot of people. So the intention behind this class is we're going to learn how, or start the process of learning how to disassociate from our thinking minds, especially right now during this time where there's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of worry, a lot of fear, and a lot of things that are uncontrollably happening to us. And a lot of us are experiencing a whirlwind of emotions that seem to, for a lot of us, overtake us at this time. So I thought this was a good class, very fitting for the situation that all of us are in, obviously in different capacities, but all of us are in. So today we're going to learn how to find peace amidst the chaos. And oftentimes the only way to do that is to be still and to learn how to feel your emotions, not run from them, not judge them, learn to connect with them, be with them, let them be there, and then eventually let them pass. So today you're going to be in about 6 comfortable positions, and you're going to be still in them. And then I'm going to guide you through either guided breath work or a relaxation exercise, or at the end, we're going to do something that's very similar to a body scan. I don't know if anyone has done a body scan before. And the intention really for you is to just be here as much as you can and try to disassociate from those thoughts that aren't urgent. And oftentimes our thoughts are not necessarily fact. Oftentimes they are just recycled images floating over and over again in the mind. And we believe so much that we need to urgently act upon them. And oftentimes that isn't the case. So I definitely encourage you to repeat this class over and over, especially during times where you're feeling a little bit overtaken by your emotions and feeling stressed or worried, or your mind just can't stop racing. Sometimes you actually have to sit with those racing thoughts in order to slow them down. So that's the intention behind today's class. Props that you're going to need is you're going to need your 2 blocks or books, whatever is accessible for you at this time, and 2 blankets. And if you're in a position right now where you're being interrupted, which I understand, we have kids and pets and everything, that's okay. If you do repeat this class later on, I definitely encourage you to be in a room where you can be quiet and not interrupted, so you can get the most out of this experience. So we're going to get started right away. Now, I will warn you, for some of you, this will be a little bit uncomfortable. You might find it hard being still for long periods of time. There will be moments of silence that you'll feel kind of like uncomfortable with the silence, or you might feel a need to fill the silence. And I want you to know that that's completely normal and understandable. And if you have to fidget and move around because it's really hard for you to be still, know that that's okay too. Meditation or learning to be still for long periods is actually a skill, and it takes time to learn and acquire. So I just want to make sure everyone is understanding of that and to be easy on yourselves throughout today. Cool? So we're going to get going right away. So you're going to take both of your blocks with you and both of your blankets, and you're going to go ahead and prop down on your back. So I would advise you to have your props close nearby to you, but you're going to go ahead and take one of your blankets and you're going to fold it up. Actually, I suggest that you fold both of your blankets up, kind of like a long square or rectangle. I definitely advise you to do that now. And then take one of those blankets, and this is going to be your pillow for behind your head. Some of us need a little bit more support behind our necks, so you can feel free to fold that up. I want you guys to be in a position where you're as comfortable as possible. Okay? So go ahead and start down on your back. I'll just move these blocks over here. go ahead and start down on your back. Go ahead and find your blanket behind the back of your head and have your other blanket and your blocks nearby. All right. So the position of choice I'd like you to start in is constructive rest, which is knees bent, feet flat on the floor. This just neutralizes the spine, alleviates a lot of pressure on the low back. If for whatever reason you do not find this comfortable, you can have your legs outstretched if that feels better. Otherwise, knees bent, feet flat on the floor. And I want you to start with your arms away from the body, not touching the body. And when you feel ready, proceed to close your eyes. If closing the eyes makes you feel uncomfortable at this time, feel free to keep them open. And I want you to just take a few moments to just be quiet. And that doesn't mean your mind and your thoughts will stop. I just want you to start the process of stilling the body so that we can work towards stilling the mind. Allow your breath to filter into your sense of awareness, or understanding that it is there subconsciously and it's happening automatically. Try not to force your breath to be anything other than what it is. Just allow it to come into your focal point of awareness. And just follow that subconscious rhythm of that rise and that fall of the belly. You start to feel the need to move, or your thoughts are becoming very intrusive and they're trying to pull you in many, many directions. See if you can understand that those thoughts are simply just repetitive, conditioned images trying to steal the spotlight. And just allow your attention to move back to your breathing. Start to take a moment to soften through your face. So relax the creases in your forehead. Soften through the eyelids. And then really pay special close attention to your jaw. Try to let go of any grimacing or clenching in the jaw, and just maybe allow your teeth to part slightly. Maybe your bottom lip just kind of hangs heavy. The back of the head fall into the prop behind you. As you let go of the tension in the face, start to soften through your fingertips. Maybe even let them curl slightly, allowing the backs of the arms to fall back into the floor beneath you as you let go and give up the need to control what is. Moving away from your breath now, I'd like you to start to pay attention to the sounds that are inside the room you're in. Now you're not searching for sound, you're not judging sound, you're not wondering why certain sounds are there. You're just listening, observing, paying attention. Once you feel like your thinking mind is pulling you away from sound, just go back. And then starting to move closer now towards your body, start to pay attention to the sounds that are directly around your body. And finally, start to listen to the sound of your breath. As you listen, maybe your breath becomes quite audible, that you can hear it. All I want you to do is just follow each breath completely. So follow the inhale to the very end and the exhale to the very end. Without judging, start to pay attention to which breath feels easier to take, your inhale or your exhale. And see if over time you can allow them to become even, where the inhale and the exhale, they match in length or duration. And staying with the breathing, see if you can just allow your legs to fall open into a butterfly shape, where you just allow the soles of the feet to slowly come together, your knees open. And if you feel like you need some support as you do this, you can go ahead and grab both of your blocks and just place them behind the backs of the knees or the backs of the thighs. Just allowing those legs to fall open. If for whatever reason this position is uncomfortable for you, feel free to keep the feet flat on the floor or slide the legs out straight in front of you. See if you can soften through the inner thighs, allowing your knees to just fall open into your blocks or your props, allowing you to let go of holding on to tension. Coming back to your breath now. Go back to following your inhale and following your exhale. As you do that, just notice what your mind wants to do. Does it want to judge the moment? Does it want to label? Does it want to criticize you or what you're doing? Once you start to recognize that these are just patterns of the mind, you start to see that it's not who we are. It's a part of what we've been conditioned to believe. Once you start to see that, you can start to understand that these thoughts are not necessarily who you truly are, what you've been led to believe you are. Just come back to your breathing. Just slowly taking a very slow moment, taking your time to put your feet back on the floor, lifting the knees up away from the blocks. Move very slowly. Move very, very quickly in life, always wanting to get from point A to point B. Treat this class as transitioning in and out of a position is your time or your opportunity to learn to move slower, to be okay with where you are. No need to rush. And once your feet are back on the floor, you can just kind of take a moment to get your props out of the way, your blocks. And then you're going to proceed to lie on your right side. And as you go to lie on your right side, this is where your second blanket is going to come in handy. Maybe you want to kind of fold that over so the fold is a little bit thicker. You're going to take that and you're just going to place that in between your inner thighs. You can choose to fold your blanket behind your head a little bit more. Just allow your right arm to swing through and your left arm to just fall wherever it naturally wants to fall. You can choose to pull your knees up a little bit more towards the body and just allow that blanket to support the inner thighs. As you're lying here in this side position, close your eyes again. Just allow your legs to relax into your blanket. And I want you to start to pay attention to your top rib cage, which is going to be the left side of your ribs, the ribs that are facing the ceiling. I'd like you to see if you can direct your breath deep in the left side of your ribs. And to add additional support, you can always take your left hand and just wrap it around the left rib cage. And as you proceed to inhale, feel as if you're pushing the left rib cage out, forcing your left hand to move. And as you exhale, allow that left side rib cage to fall back down. See if you can keep that going as long as you can without getting distracted. Inhale as you fill up. Exhale as you fall. Just keep that going as you watch the left side body move with the constant rhythm of the breath. Any emotions start to come up that feel unpleasant or uncomfortable, you feel the need to move or get up. Understand that that is normal, that is okay, and that's part of the process. But see if instead of running away or hiding or ignoring or fighting these emotions or feelings or sensations, see if you can breathe with them. And once you understand that all things do in time pass, you start to feel less fear or less worry about the state you're in. You know that everything, in fact, in life is impermanent. And the situation that we are in currently is, in fact, impermanent. Let's take a few more breaths here before we switch to the other side. Again, moving very slowly, honoring your body. Release the left hand if you have it wrapped around the rib cage. Go ahead and grab the blanket you have in between your inner thighs and just work your way back onto your backs. And then slowly transitioning now on your left side. I'm just going to stay on my right side so you guys can still hear me well. So just transition over onto your left side now and go ahead and place the blanket again in between your inner thighs. Perhaps you'd like to do something different on this side. Maybe you want to bring your knees up higher or lower, whatever feels comfortable to you. Now again, you'll start to find your top rib cage that is exposed. So now it's going to be the right side rib cage. I just want you to, again, start to allow the breath to move deep into just that side of the rib cage. And again, if you need your hand as sort of that tactile cue to keep the breath there, you can go ahead and place it around the right rib cage. Start to breathe into that rib cage. Inhale, let the right side expand. Exhale, let it fall. Moment to start to notice any places on your body where you might perhaps still be tense. Maybe your face, your fingers, your jaw, feet, even your abdomen. With every exhale you take, let that exhale remind you to let go of tension. Again, if any uncomfortable emotions or sensations come up, remind yourself that they are simply just emotions that will pass with time. There's no need to fear them or run from them. Allow yourself to be with them and breathe with them. A few more breaths here and then we'll transition. Go ahead and release the hand. Go ahead and release that second blanket from the legs. Proceed to allow yourself to come. So I suggest that you roll over onto one side and use a hand to kind of push yourself up. Make your way to seated. Okay. So we're going to transition onto our stomachs now. So we're actually going to take one of our blankets. You can even just grab the one that was behind your head. And this time, I'd like you to make it into a long rectangle. So I'm going to kind of unfold that, and then I'm going to fold that over once so that I have a long rectangle. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to place that kind of in the center of my mat. And then I'm going to take my second blanket and I'm going to keep that into that nice fold that I had it in between my inner thighs. This is going to be actually for my head, as we're going to come to a belly lying position. Lying on the stomach can be very, very calming for the nervous system, as it represents a feeling of security and almost kind of replicates kind of being in the room, that sense of safety. So what I'd like you to do from here is you're going to lie the lowest part of your belly, kind of right around where your hip creases are, right on that blanket. So I'm going to go ahead and proceed to lie myself down, and I can adjust if I need to, okay, so that my blanket is supporting the lowest part of my belly, more so the arch of my lower back. And then I'm going to start with my arms just alongside my blanket. And I'm going to go ahead and just put one cheek on that blanket. And it can be the right or the left. We're going to switch the head. So whatever side of the cheek feels good to you from here. And then just see if you can kind of fall into this position. And if for whatever reason lying on your stomach is painful for your low back, or there's something going on in your abdomen, feel free to just lie on your back and use a pillow, and you can even cover yourself with a blanket. Nothing is mandatory. I definitely encourage you to be comfortable. So as I'm here in this position, start to pay attention to the contact between the rib cage and the floor or your mat, and the low belly, the hip bones, and the blanket. And for a lot of us, we subconsciously store a lot of tension in our rib cage, which affects how our diaphragm moves, which will therefore affect our breathing. So with your belly kind of on the floor like this, as you start to breathe, can you feel how your belly is moving and pushing into the floor on your inhale? And then emptying with the exhale. And as you inhale and fill up your belly, feel how your upper back kind of rises up away from the floor. And as you exhale and your rib cage and your diaphragm let go, your upper back comes closer to the floor. Go ahead and close your eyes if you haven't already done so. And just connect to what's happening there. Inhale, belly rises, my upper back rises, maybe my low back rises. Exhale. And fall. If you feel like you need to change your head position, feel free to do so. You can always rest your forehead in your hand, or you can turn your cheek, or you can rest the side of the cheek on the hands. Come to your breath and just watch. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fall. And then maybe you'd like to go ahead and turn your cheek to the other side. Or perhaps you'd like to rest the cheek on the hands. And just come back to that constant movement of the breath. One thing that I've learned about breathing or breath work or meditation or even stress release work is that our breath is that one thing that we can continually count on to be there for us, to support us. And that if we really focus, we can use our breathing as a gateway towards feeling better, stress relief. So our breath is the first thing that will change to mirror how we're feeling in that moment. Whether we're feeling stressed, anxious, worried, sad, excited, our breath is the first thing to change. And then the breath will affect our nervous system, it will affect our energy, it will affect our mood. So if we can take just a few minutes out during the day to take some calm, slow breaths, we can fundamentally change how we feel in that moment or our perception of that moment. few more breaths here, and then we're going to transition. When you're ready, go ahead and just kind of lift your head, push onto the floor. Kind of push yourself up and back. And we're going to move into a variation of child's pose that is a little bit more of a kind of fetal position here. So the blanket that was underneath your belly, this is actually going to be for our knees. So we're going to go ahead and fold that over again. And I just want to place my knees on that folded blanket and then bring my big toes together. And then the other blanket that I had, I'm going to keep that as it is. And I just want to kind of take my arms back alongside the body. And I want to allow myself to come down to that blanket. And just take my arms alongside the body with my palms facing up. So I'm in this sort of fetal position. If this is not comfortable for you at all, you can feel free to come to child's pose where your knees are quite wide. And you can take your arms up overhead and then put that forehead underneath that blanket. Either or is fine. But whatever position you're in, we're all going to be focusing on the same thing. So now that we're in this almost like forward fold, so to speak, our breath actually becomes a little bit louder to us. So I'd like you to really listen to the sound of your breath here. And then watch how your belly kind of presses in towards the thighs as you inhale. So there's the sense of contact between the belly and the legs. We're only going to stay here for a few short moments. And then we're going to transition to our final piece. Let's take 3 more breaths here and really listen to them. Slowly take a moment to allow yourself to come back up. If you need to do anything here, grab a sip of water, do anything, go ahead and do that now. So we're going to transition into our final position. And what we're going to do here is we're going to do something that is very similar to a body scan. And really all you have to do is just lie there and I'm going to talk you through everything. And you're just going to follow my instructions or my directions as best you can. So we're going to go onto our backs, but this time I definitely encourage you to cover yourself up with a blanket so that you can be comfortable. So you're going to go ahead and go back and put one blanket behind your head, like that pillow that we initially had when we first started today. And then you're going to allow yourself to come onto your back. You're going to take your other blanket and you're going to go ahead and cover yourself up. The body can tend to get quite cold when you're still. for long periods. So we're going to use this opportunity to take that second blanket and cover ourselves up. Now, depending on what feels comfortable for you, I'm definitely more comfortable with my feet flat on the floor. It just feels better for my low back. But you can go ahead and slide your legs out straight if that feels better. And perhaps if you need a second pillow or a second blanket, go ahead and grab that now. All right. Let's take a few seconds just to allow everyone to get situated in their position. We're going to be here for the remainder of class, and this meditation generally can take anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes, which might sound like a really long time to a lot of you. But as you get into it, the time will go by. And the objective of meditation is actually to learn to become less aware of time. So once you're in your comfortable position, again, all you have to do is just follow my instructions. Just go ahead and get yourself comfortable. You can place your hands on your belly if that feels more comfortable to you. And then go ahead and just take a few breaths just to allow yourself to connect to where you are in space. And when you're ready, I'd like you to bring all your attention to your feet. Every ounce of attention that you have, place all of that attention in your feet. Draw your breath deep down into your feet. And I'd like you to say to yourself under your breath, both feet let go and relax. Both feet let go. And traveling your attention now up your lower legs, your shins, your calf muscles, and into your knees. And saying to yourself under your breath, lower legs, let go and relax. Lower legs, let go. Moving now towards your upper legs, your thighs, your hamstrings, maybe even to your hip creases. And your legs get heavy as you breathe deep into them. And saying to yourself under your breath, upper legs, let go and relax. Upper legs, let go. And then just paying attention to your entire lower body now, from the hip creases to your feet, allowing those legs to get heavier and heavier as you let go more and more. And just say to yourself, both legs, let go and relax. Both legs, let go. Moving now up towards your low belly, your low back, and just feeling the curvature of the lower back in relation to the floor. As you breathe, you feel your belly rise and fall. With every exhale you take, can you just allow the curvature of your lower back to melt down into the floor as you say to yourself, lower back, let go and relax. Lower back, let go and relax. Traveling up into your chest, into your throat, your shoulders, your upper back, your mid back. Just allowing your shoulders to draw back, creating a sense of broadness through your collarbones and upper back. Softening through the center of your chest. Letting go of any shallow breaths that may be keeping you feeling tense. As you say to yourself, upper torso, let go and relax. Upper torso, let go and relax. And then moving down your arms now, just paying attention to both arms. The upper arms, the lower arms, into the hand. Maybe just allow the fingertips again to slightly curl. Let the arms grow heavy as you say to yourself under your breath, both arms, let go and relax. Both arms, let go. And then moving into the back of the head, back of neck, the face. Again, softening through the creases in your forehead, softening through your eyelids, your jaw. Letting the head fall back into the floor beneath you as you say to yourself, head and face, let go and relax. Head and face, let go and relax. And as you lie here still, start to connect to your entire body. Take a moment, starting at your toes, and travel really slowly from your toes, up the leg, up the torso, the arms, the neck, the face, the head. And as you breathe smoothly and slowly in and out of the nose, say to yourself under your breath, entire body, let go and relax. Entire body. Let go. Entire body. Let go. Take a moment. Start to come back to the sound of your breath. The sounds directly around your body. The sounds inside the room. And maybe even the sounds outside of the room. Just take a moment to sit with how you feel. Start to take a moment to create just a little bit of movement, whatever that might be. Maybe you want to wiggle your fingers, your toes. Just awakening the body now. And perhaps you're feeling really at ease and you'd like to stay here a little bit longer. I definitely encourage you to do that. Perhaps shut off the video so you can have some quiet time by yourself. And if you have fallen asleep, know that that's normal too. If you're feeling ready to start to awaken, just take a moment to let your eyes kind of flutter open. Adjusting back to the room that you're in, the body that you're in. Maybe you want to take a moment to just stretch, whatever that means to you. Just kind of moving around a little bit. Before you get up, again, letting go of the need to rush. Just pay attention to how you feel. Try not to label as good or bad. Try not to critique how well you did today. Try not to label whether you enjoyed this or not. It was your experience. It was neither good nor bad. It was what it was, and it's over now. However you're feeling, remind yourself that you do have the ability to calm yourself down. Take that with you and this feeling with you into the rest of your day. You want it to roll over onto one side and just kind of pause there for a moment. Take a few breaths there. When you're ready, go ahead and proceed to just come on up. And then take a moment to perhaps thank yourself for showing up today. I thank you guys all for being here today. And hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully you were able to let go and relax. Again, I definitely encourage you to repeat this practice, even if it is just in little snippets, little tidbits. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me at jen2ns@freerunning.com. Otherwise, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take this feeling with you into the rest of your day. And remember to take opportunities throughout the day to sit, be quiet, be still, and sit with how you're feeling and know that everything is impermanent and everything will eventually pass. Thank you guys so much. Have a great Wednesday. We'll see you guys next time.